Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus. Epictetus advises focusing actions on philosophical virtues rather than just discussing theories. True wisdom emerges through consistency between principles and conduct, making philosophy a living, practical guide. Words alone change nothing. Virtue evolves continually, perfecting character through application amid challenges. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics taught happiness depending on mindsets toward events, not events themselves which remain unpredictable. Within one's control lies cultivating fortitude, patience, and mindfulness, steering reactions to difficulties more than struggling against uncontrollable outcomes. Resilience buds, focusing energy on internal virtues developed through principled responses no matter what transpires externally. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. One's experience arises less from occurrences beyond direction than interpretations assigned through perspective. Virtue guides reacting rationally to meet difficulties productively, however unfairly dealt, rather than emotionally intensifying pains. Wisdom discerns, distinguishing uncontrollable events from controllable judgments applied, empowering choice within turmoil appearing externally mandated. Don't crave for the things that don't depend only on your will. Seneca. Anxiety diminishes upon realizing well-being depends more on efforts and attitudes self-determined than outcomes and conditions unpredictably changing. Freedom enters accepting contingencies impartially through non-attachment to unreliable factors beyond maintaining control. Serenity follows, reorienting efforts toward developing courage and contentment endogenously regardless what arises from life's uncertainties. Live with nature as your guide, not public opinion. Epictetus. Happiness stems from fulfilling natural duties reasonably through cooperation with reality as found, not chasing unrealistic fantasies. Nature-guided actions align more harmoniously with life's actual patterns, bringing intrinsic rewards over fleeting pleasures through artificial pursuits, risking dependency. Character formation matters more inherently than appearances, reorienting purpose toward nature away from crowd distractions. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics saw difficulties as opportunities to apply virtues, not worthless problems. Challenges transform through wisdom as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks when approached not as impediments but occasions assisting progress. Willpower expands, collaborating with rather than fighting hardships non-defensively. Overall, perspective shifts attitudes, enabling utilization of even pains for further development. Very little is needed to make a happy life. Marcus Aurelius. Contentment stems less from abundance than gratitude within sufficiency, realizing life's basic gifts provide intrinsic fulfillment when appreciated. Simplicity enhances intrinsic joys available through realistic priorities instead of quests, expanding comfort's frontiers, risking excess dependence. An unburdened heart enters, considering life's essence extracted from complexity through fundamentals like love, courage, and friendship. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Happiness depends more on mindsets than conditions, since responses determine impacts, not catalysts beyond direction. Resisting difficulties intensifies emotional turmoil uselessly, whereas prudent perspective guides handling even pains productively through realized agency within reactions versus resignation amid externalities. Strength blooms, cultivating mindfulness, separating ungovernable events from controllable thoughts, directing experiences upward or downward accordingly. Overall, wisdom discerns the adjustable from realities accepted for equanimity. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Present moments provide life's deepest pleasures, which diminish through fixation on abstractions. Appreciation's rhythm follows nature's cycles, making each dawn precious for living fully with gratitude instead of rushing past life's intimacies distractedly. Mindfulness renews meaning through presence as simplicity, meeting challenges tranquilly as stepping stones compared to threats feared obsessionally. Daily routines uplift through micro-appreciations, reframing drudgery as privileged living, available this moment however fleetingly. Don't expect something good to come to you if you are not willing to act to bring it about. Epictetus. Happiness results more from diligently cultivating virtues through rational effort than passively awaiting grace or blaming others for dissatisfactions. Purpose enters proactively participating in life through prudent actions steered by reason over reaction alone. Wisdom discerns distinguishing between what influences originate within efforts versus outside conditions, empowering progress by focusing energy on the former. Very little is needed to make a happy life. Marcus Aurelius. Contentment stems less from abundance than presence within sufficiency, realizing life's basic kindnesses suffice for intrinsic fulfillment when appreciated without discontent. Simplicity enhances innate joys available through reasonable priorities instead of pursuits risking excess reliance. An unconditioned heart enters considering life's essence focused through fundamentals like courage, wisdom, and friendship. Overall, nature's generous kind satisfy more essentially than wealth contingently gained and lost. When you realize you have limited time left, throw away your books and wander around talking to people and making friends with them. Seneca. True communion sources through spontaneous presence rather than mediated knowledge. Studying nurtures mindfulness whereas living requires applying wisdoms through relationships prioritized over statistics. Virtue matures through humility serving others compassionately instead of appearing clever. Character forms through interdependence more than separateness however brilliantly reasoned in isolation. Overall, wisdom follows not from digesting alone but contributions left bettering community before life's closure. Stoic Wisdom in Quotes, Part 2. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius. Wisdom follows righteousness aligning actions and speech with justice and reason. Character matures elevating relations through principled consistency avoiding harm by superficiality or popularity alone. Integrity underlies equanimity while disturbances arise externally through congruence distinguishing self from fleeting conditions. Overall, virtue guides conduct authentically whether observed or hidden from crowds. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Marcus Aurelius. Perspective realization fosters open-mindedness. Facts represent perspectives, not absolute realities, since all knowledge arises through fallible senses and reason. Wisdom embraces manifold viewpoints appreciatively instead of attachments risking delusions of certitude. Doubt's hospitality to alternate standpoints nurtures equitable discernment over reactivity. Overall, opinions guide investigatively yet provisionally through skepticism of any claims as ultimate realities. Don't be perturbed, for all things are according to nature's law. Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Peace enters accepting life as naturally comprising inevitable disparities beyond individual dictate compared to perceived unfairness provoking distress. Nature unfolds seamlessly through determined patterns unaffected by desires though incomprehensible from limited vantage points. Wisdom stems from cooperatively adapting to reality's order through probabilistic perspectives versus definitive predictions. Overall, serenity follows aligning efforts with impermanent yet lawful patterns characterizing existence. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Marcus Aurelius. Anxiety diminishes realizing presence alone possesses living and each subsequent moment sufficiently faced through principles cultivated this instant.